It's time for our summer market update. Is it a buyer or seller's market? It's so hard to tell. You're seeing price reductions everywhere, but sold prices are still sky high. Stats are just not going to paint the full picture. So today I'm going to share everything that I'm seeing in our market. If you are a buyer or seller in Solano County, this video is for you. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica Monroe. I'm a realtor in the Bay Area, and I specialize in Solano County. This is definitely an interesting market. It's somewhat challenging for both buyers and sellers, but things are moving and they are selling. Buyers are being more disciplined. They're visiting homes more than once to ensure that they do in fact want to move forward. They're also very cognizant that interest rates are still stubborn. They're quite high. We're up near the 7% marker right now, and home values haven't seemed to decrease much. So who holds the power right now? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Well, shockingly, even though our inventory has increased by 30% compared to this time last year, it's still technically a seller's market. We have just shy of 3 months worth of inventory. It takes 6 months worth of inventory to make it a neutral market where buyers and sellers have equal power. However, I do feel like this stat is a little bit dated, especially given how aggressive of a seller's market it's been. Buyers have definitely regained power. There's more room to negotiate repairs, closing cost credit, or a price reduction. However, not all sellers have the same outlook, so I want to give you some insight into what I've been seeing. In my opinion, it seems like sellers are on two extremes. There's going to be sellers who have incredible equity in their homes. They're maybe more amiable to price reductions or offering credit because they probably bought the home for a fraction of what they're selling it for. And you also have sellers who have only been in the home for 2 to 4 years. They have not had enough time to build equity, and sometimes those price points have softened. So they don't have the option of offering credits or price reductions. They may be holding steady regardless of how many days their home has been on market. Now more than ever, sales are a case-by-case basis because you're dealing with real people and real life scenarios. It takes incredible communication between a buyer's agent and a listing agent to find that common ground. Oftentimes it exists, but again, some sellers may not have the flexibility or wiggle room. Buyers are understanding that they should have more negotiating room. They have more inventory to choose from, so we are seeing more cancellations based on negotiations falling through. Currently, average days on market for active listings are right around 40 to 50 days. Sellers are starting to digest and understand that it's just going to take longer to sell their homes. Many are waiting until that 3-week marker to do any sort of price reduction, and if they do, it's generally a smaller 1 to 2% of the purchase price. So buyers, the good news is stats aren't telling you the full story. Even if home values haven't come down much, likely the seller has offered some sort of concession. It's common to see help with closing costs. Sellers may offer credit for repairs, or they may offer to do the repairs for you. Or for a seller that's been on market for quite a while and they're eager to move on, they may even offer credit to help you buy down the interest rate. Seller concessions is such a big part of the overall deal, so even if you're not seeing prices softening as much as you'd like, you might actually be able to get a better deal by asking for credit, possibly buying down that interest rate to make your monthly payment that much more affordable. Most buyers come to the market expecting or hoping that the seller will pay the buyer's agent's commission. If you remember last year, there was a lot of regulation in ensuring that there was transparency in how the buyer's agent was going to be paid. Now buyers and agents have to sign a buyer-broker agreement ahead of seeing homes to ensure that there's transparency in how that agent's going to be compensated. Well, most sellers are still offering to pay buyers' agents' commissions. Sellers are having to compete with each other, and they know that if they're not paying that commission, they may have a harder time attracting buyers because a lot of buyers don't have those extra funds to pay their agent directly. So for buyers, that's good news. Obviously, it's a case-by-case basis, and you still want to ensure that that is a possibility for the home that you're interested in. If you're looking for the best possible deal, it's going to be at a new construction community. Builders have deeper pockets than your average seller to help you buy down that interest rate. Often it's a permanent buy down and not just temporary. And we're even starting to see some price reductions. Builders have holding costs. There's been a little bit of a slowdown as far as buyer activity. So they're wanting to incentivize buyers. And if you can get a price reduction, included solar, and some money to buy down that interest rate, it just doesn't get any better than that. Plus, you're starting off with brand new everything. Now, I always remind you, make sure to take your agent on the very first visit. Otherwise, you may be waiving your right to representation, and you want somebody who negotiates on the daily to help you get the best possible deal. Sellers, if you have a house coming to market, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but in order to maximize your profit and reduce the days on market, you have to put in the effort to showcase your house to the best of your ability. That means decluttering. If you can afford it, new interior or exterior paint makes a huge difference. And absolutely stage your home. You just have too much competition right now not to take these vital steps. Those first impressions are so important. We want to draw buyers in. It's hard enough to get them through the door, so you want to make sure your photography is on point and your house looks stunning for every buyer that comes through and every open house that you hold. At the end of the day, we are very much still an active market. Things are selling. It's just taking a little more time. There's still a lot of opportunity to be had. You just need to find an agent that's going to help position you to be successful in today's market.